What's going on, mi gente? This is Profe Gayu, and in today's video, it's going to be a little different, but very interesting. I'm going to talk about why I have 10 credit cards in Mexico.
What?
Now, you may ask, why in the hell do you have 10 credit cards in Mexico? What do you need with all those credit cards? Well, stick around, grab some popcorn. Let me explain. Hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. Now, why I got started with Mexican credit cards? Well, it basically started with me moving to Mexico about 2 years ago. So about 2 years ago, I decided to move to Mexico, and basically I wanted to see how I can start getting into the credit card game here in Mexico. Now, I've already started the credit card game in the Dominican Republic before moving here, and I started sort of getting into the credit card game in the US, but I was more focused on the Dominican Republic because I was living in the Dominican Republic. But moving to Mexico, I wanted to do the same in Mexico. So then I started figuring out, well, first I have to build credit. So the first thing I did to build credit in Mexico is open a AT&T account with Mexico. So I got my cell phone plan with Mexico, unlike the United States. That is actually reported here to the credit bureau in Mexico. So I opened that up, and a few months later, I'll say about 6 months later, I got my first credit card, but I'll talk about that a little later. Now, I'm going to explain the benefits of having multiple credit cards. But first, you may ask, why not just have one or two credit cards? Let me explain why. Everyone's lifestyle is different. My lifestyle is I am all about earning points and miles. Now, each credit card comes with its own perks, right, and benefits. And that's what I take advantage of when I am buying items. Now, all of us have our daily, monthly expenses, and basically I try to put all my daily and monthly expenses on credit cards. Why? Well, I have the money in my account, so I don't need to use my debit card, but the benefit is to use the credit card so I can earn cash back, or I can earn points, or I can earn miles, or I can earn something so I can actually get some benefit from it. Needless to say, each Mexican credit card that I have its benefits. And I use that credit card for those specific benefits that they offer to help enhance my lifestyle. The main reason why I ended up with so many credit cards in Mexico is to build my credit in Mexico. Building and managing credit in Mexico. Now, Mexico is a different animal when it comes to credit. Very different than what I've experienced in the United States and Dominican Republic, but there are some similarities. And one thing they do have here are two main credit bureaus. And these two main credit bureaus are basically what the banks and the fintechs use to determine if they will loan to you, because a credit card is a loan, right? So if they loan to you and how much they will loan to you. And one of the big considerations they look at is, of course, your credit history, but also how much you earn. And how much you earn will definitely help you along the way with in your credit card journey. To be able to approve how much you earn, some banks want you to only submit bank statements from Mexico. Now, some banks will allow you to submit bank statements from outside the country, but for the most part, they want to see what you deposit in your account in a Mexican bank account. And one thing they will also look at is your credit history. So if you already have credit cards and you're spending 1,000 pesos a month or 5,000 pesos a month, they can basically see that based on your credit report. And that is another way they will determine how much they will lend to you. Some banks, well, I'll probably say most banks, they don't even check for proof of how much you earn. Now, at some point at a later date, after they're giving you a credit card, they may say, hey, please submit some bank statements. But for the most part, Not all, but for the most part, they don't even check. They'll just look at how much you said you earn and look at what you've been spending on your credit cards that you have or whatever loans you may have out there, and they'll determine that way. So as soon as I arrived in Mexico, I got a phone plan with AT&T, which is reported to the credit bureau. And that is the start of me building credit in Mexico. Then afterwards, I got my first credit card, which was 6 months after that. I got my first credit card with Vexi, then New, and then
Say
what?
what?
And that's how I started building my credit in Mexico. How do I manage multiple credit cards? It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy, and let me explain why. I have credit cards that I use every day or for specific purposes. And then I have credit cards that I don't use. And basically, I may charge an Uber ride to that credit card each month, and that's it. I won't use it. And the reason why I do that is to actually build my credit portfolio. So being here, I've only actually canceled 1 or 2 credit cards since I've been here. But the ones that I do have, I've just kept because they're free. I don't pay annual fee. They're free, and it helps support my credit portfolio. So therefore, I leave them on my credit, but I don't use them. So I'll just pay for an Uber ride, and that next day or same day, I'll just pay it off, and that's it. So my credit cards that I use, I swipe or I charge and then pay it off immediately. Some say I shouldn't do that, but I feel like that's the best way for me when you're managing multiple credit cards, is to just pay it off immediately. That way you're not thinking about the end of the reporting period. It looks good when you actually have zero balance on your credit card when it's being reported, and it helps your credit score. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and break down each credit card that I have and its specific use that I have for those credit cards. So let me go for it. And I'm going to go in chronological order from my first credit card to my most recent credit card. My first credit card is Vexi. I don't know if you can see that. Vexi, right? Vexi. That's my first credit card. Now, Vexi, when I opened this account, they gave me 400 pesos, right? That was what they approved me for, 400 pesos. What am I going to buy with 400 pesos? Not much. That's like 20 bucks. So what I did was I would just use it and pay it off. Use it and pay it off. Use it and pay it off. And I think after, I want to say 7 months or 8 months, they gave me an increase from 400 pesos to 1,000, like 1,100 pesos or 1,150, I think it was. Right? Not much, but still they gave me an increase. But as of right now, I only use this credit card to hit Uber once a month. That's it. I don't use this credit card. I don't get any cash back because Vexi actually operates in tiers. So the beginning tier, which is what I'm in, they don't offer any sort of benefits. It's just a credit card. That's it. No cash back, nothing. The second tier is when they increase your credit limit to a specific amount. I think it's 12,000 or maybe less. I don't know. But that's when they start giving you cash back. But at this point, I use it once a month for Uber, and that's it. The next credit card I have is New. Now, this credit card at this point has a 4,000 peso credit limit. Now, I'm hoping that they increase it this month to, I guess it will be 8,000. I think they will probably do, because the way they've been doing it, they've been doubling my credit limit when they've given me increases. So when I first got the credit card, they gave me a 1,000 peso limit. And after about 6 months, they increased it to 2,000. And maybe 3 months after that, they increased it to 4,000. And that's where I'm at now. I've been at 4,000 for probably 6 months. So I'm hoping to give me another increase. But this credit card does not come with any sort of cash back, nothing, no benefit. That's why I don't use it. So this credit card, I hit this credit card with an Uber ride once a month, and that's it. Maybe twice a month because they want you to use 20% of the card. So I think I hit it a couple of times a month. After I've had my credit history for a little over a year, after opening my account with AT&T, I got this card, my first bank credit card. Oh yeah. Walmart with Inbursa. And I went into Walmart and I was like, you know what, Inbursa's right there, let me go into Banco Inbursa and figure out if they'll approve and for this Walmart credit card. But they've been, promoting it everywhere. So I applied and got it. And basically, to get this credit card, I was told that to get this credit card, I was told you need to have a minimum credit score of 680. And they gave me a credit limit of 12,000. They have not increased it since. When I got this credit card, they did not ask for proof of bank statements or nothing of that nature. Nothing. I just needed to have show my permanent residency card, my passport, and my proof of address using your cell phone, right? They didn't want the standard light bill or gas bill that a lot of folks ask for. They wanted your cell phone, and that's what I given them. And I'd say maybe 2 months after that, I got this credit card, which is Tarjeta Amiga. Now, this Tarjeta Amiga, I don't recommend, and I wanted to get this card so I can share with folks that, yes, as a permanent resident, and probably a temporary resident as well, you can get this credit card. It's not as straightforward. I actually had to apply. I tried applying online, but I had to go to an actual place here in the city I live in to actually go and apply there. And they approved me on the spot, and they gave me a 600 peso credit limit, which is not much, but they have since increased it to 1,200 pesos after 4 months, or maybe 5 months or 6 months. I'm not sure, but I got an increase. I don't use this card every month. I probably use this card every 2 months or 3 months, and I will actually go to OXXO or 7-Eleven to use it. This card you get invited to. I didn't apply for it. You get invited to, and this is the Mercado Pago. Now, how do you get invited to the Mercado Pago credit card? Now, I use Mercado Libre sometimes, not a lot, but sometimes. So Mercado Libre, they will actually give you, once you sign up, they will actually look at your credit history and potentially give you a credit, right? So basically you'll have like a credit line that you can use in Mercado Pago, which is the money part of Mercado Libre. And I did that. I used that credit line 3 times in a month. And when I did that, as soon as I paid that off, they sent me an invitation to the Mercado Pago credit card. And they sent me an invitation and approved me for 6,200 pesos. And I would say 3 months after that, maybe 3 or 4 months afterwards, they increased it to 8,700 pesos, which is 1,500 peso increase. Do I use this card? No. I think the last time I used this card was probably 3 months ago or 2 months ago. So I had not been using this card every month. I don't use it for Uber. I do use it for Mercado Libre, but I haven't bought anything in Mercado Libre for about 3 months. But I will just use this card for that because it offers 3 months without interest with Mercado Libre. And if I buy an item that is a little costly, I will probably use this card. The next card I have is Banorte Clásica. The Banorte Visa Clásica, right? As you can see here, yep, the Banorte Visa Clásica. This is a card that Banorte invited me to. Now, Banorte is like BBVA and some other banks. You cannot apply. They have to invite you to that card. And I opened a bank account with Banorte because I saw their credit card lineup, and as a traveler, they have some good options. in their lineup. So I opened up an account with Banorte and used the account, that bank account, not so much, but I use it pretty often. And at some point, they invited me for this credit card. Now, you actually have to go into the application and look for the invitation. So I probably had it sitting out there for a long time, but I checked and I got approved for it, and they gave me a 9,000 peso credit limit. They do give you points for this card, but the points can only be used to like purchase items on this platform that the bank has. I don't really see it as worth it, but it's a good way for me to get my foot in the door with Banorte so I could take advantage of some of the travel credit cards they offer. The next credit card I got approved for is the American Express Gold Elite. Now with this credit card, I applied for online. And after a week and some change, I did not get an answer back. It was in process, right? And when I went to the airport to fly out of the country, I saw an American Express kiosk. And I said, let me ask this guy to see what's going on. And I talked to the guy at the kiosk, and he told me as a foreigner, it's best for you to apply in person. And he offered me this card, the Platinum card. So I asked him, well, I already have this card, application for this card in process. Is it smart to apply for this card? He was like, yes, I recommend this card because this card is good for travelers. And obviously, you travel a lot because you're here in the airport with me. So I assume you travel a lot, so this card will work for you. I said, cool, let me apply. I applied with him. The process was very simple in person at the kiosk. And I think it was I was in Terminal 2 at the airport in Mexico City. I applied, immediately got pre-approved, and after 3 days, I received the notification by email that I was approved. And they gave me a 20,000 peso limit.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Afterwards, maybe a few days after that, or 2 days after that, I was approved for the Gold Elite card. So even though this was in process for 2 weeks before I got approved, and I applied for this one at the same time and got approved for it, yes, and I got this card. So basically, I got both of these cards really at the same time, which is pretty cool. 11,000 peso limit, not that high, but it's okay. But this is 20,000 I got, and this is my highest. The next card I got was this card. So maybe I want to say 2 months after I got my American Express card, I got this Plata Card. And basically I saw somewhere that they are starting to work with foreigners. Because before I tried to get this card, they denied me because they were not working with foreigners at that point. But now they are. I applied for the card, got approved for it, and they gave me a 5,500 peso credit limit, which is kind of low compared to some of my other cards, but it's a good start. The cool thing about this is when I applied for this card, they told me that I was going to have an interview where I was going to present my documents, and they were going to verify my identity and all that. So I had to set up on my calendar for the interview, and I thought the interview was going to be online, but when it came for time for the interview, the guy called me on WhatsApp and sent me a picture like, hey, this your building? I'm like, yeah, you're here? I didn't know that. I didn't know they actually come to your home and do the process. So he actually came to my home. He gave me the card, verified my information, and maybe 2 or 3 days after that, the card was activated with the line of credit. This card is amazing because you can actually get meses without interest, mes sin interés, which is months without interest, on anything. Not anything, but almost anything. And the app is very modern, clean, easy to use. The cashback is awesome. The categories change every month, and you can choose the categories every month. And the same categories are not available every month, but you can actually choose. I mean, it is amazing. You have a lot of categories to choose from every month. So it's my best card for cashback and my favorite card to use for cashback. And this month of April, I actually get 5% cashback on taxis. I use Uber everywhere I go. So this is my Uber card for this month, exclusively for Uber. Now, this card here is my latest card. I just got this card maybe last week. And this is the Invex Despegar Gold card. Now, this card is for Despegar, which is a travel agency, sort of like Expedia, Booking, but it's for Mexico, but you can use it the same way. It's a Mexican company, but you can use it the same way you use, Booking.com, Expedia, etc. So this is what I use this card for. Now, basically, I plan on using this card for resorts or hotels. We don't stay at a hotel much, but we definitely stay at resorts. We go to a resort probably 2 or 3 times a year. So this will be my dedicated resort card. They actually approved me for 20,000 pesos. Baby! And it's a gold level card. So this is my first bank credit card at the gold level, which is dope. And it's pretty too. I like the card. It looks kind of nice. Can you see? Yeah, it looks nice. And yeah, it's my latest card. Well, in Spanish they call it consulta. I forget what you call it in English. But basically, I have had a lot of credit card consults within the past few months. I'm giving my credit report a break, so I will probably apply for my next credit card in about 3 or 4 months. There are 3 credit cards that I'm looking at. One from Banorte, which I hope to get invited to at some point. One from Inbursa, and one from American Express, which is a charge card. Now, what I have with American Express right now are credit cards, the Gold Elite and the Platinum card. But now I want charge card from American Express here in Mexico, and probably going to wait another 3 or 4 months to do that. Now, I just showed you all the credit cards that I have here in Mexico, all 10 of them, and what are the challenges that I have with those credit cards. I know you're asking that. So, challenges, I haven't really had any challenges with these credit cards. It's basically me understanding how each bank works, because each bank or each fintech here in Mexico works differently. For example, the Mexican bank system actually have a transfer payment system using what they call is a clave number. And that clave number is a long number of think about 20 digits. And that is what's used to basically do instant transfers between bank accounts, or to pay your credit card, or to pay a service like your light bill, gas bill, etc. Right? Now, each bank works differently, but each bank actually has that number. American Express is the first one that I've experienced here in Mexico that you can make a payment, but it's not instant. They actually take 2 to 3 business days to credit your account with that payment, which is annoying, especially if you plan on charging a card. For me, my goal with all these credit cards is to use them for a specific superpower, right? The Plata Card, its superpower is cashback. In those cashback categories, getting 5% cashback on those categories is awesome. So I use this for a superpower each month. And this month, its superpower is taxi, right? And eating out, but I wouldn't use this for eating out, but I will use this for taxes. And these credit cards, the superpower is meses sin interés, right? Meses, months without interest. And automatically, this card, any purchase I make outside the country, automatically falls into months without interest, right? And also, they earn membership reward points. So the membership reward points I use to transfer at this moment. I'm transferring all my membership reward points to Iberia. I have an Iberia or Iberia credit card in the Dominican Republic, and I just received the bonus, welcome bonus for that card. So basically, I'm pushing all my points to Iberia, and I'm hoping that later this year I'll be able to make a purchase or 2 purchases for a flight. But each credit card has a superpower. I use it for the superpower. This is probably my mostly used daily card, and this card is what I probably use more for my daily expenses here in Mexico. So these are my primary cards that I use on a daily basis, and the other cards have their own superpower, or like this card for I earn lots of points for using this platform, Despegar, and that's pretty much how I use it. Now, the challenge I have with these credit cards is using the right credit card for its purpose, its superpower, right? Basically, not wasting a good moment to earn maximum points or maximum cash back. And that's basically why these are the 2 cards that I keep in my wallet, which looks like this, right? My wallet. And you always want to, for American Express, I prefer to use this more because I want to earn more and more membership reward points. But some places, not a lot, but some places do not accept the American Express payment system. So I always have my Mastercard to cover. So is it worth it having 10 credit cards here in Mexico? Well, for me, it is for my purpose. Now, I'm probably not going to exceed 15 credit cards here in Mexico, but I do want to make sure I get experience with different banks, different credit cards, know my limits. That way I can share this with you all. Because here in Mexico, a lot of banks, a lot of fintechs do not work with foreigners. A lot of them do not deal with foreigners whatsoever. So basically for me, because there is no template out there to know who works with foreigners and who doesn't work with foreigners, in this credit card journey or credit building journey here in Mexico, I want to know who I can work with, who I can't work with, let you all know that. That way, as a foreigner moving to Mexico, if you want to build credit, you know who to go to and who you shouldn't go to. Now, I'm going to make tons of content on credit cards and building credit in Mexico. A lot of content's coming out with that on the channel, so stay tuned. If you have any questions, suggestions, comments, leave it down below. Thanks for tuning in with Profe Gallo. Please like, share, subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Peace.